wrestling fans, this is your boy, Mr. Team Bring It, a.k.a. Mr. Chris Dilworth, coming to you once again from #HealsForLife Wrestling Podcast with my co-host, my boy, Mr. C-Dog Collins. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, man. I am doing all right. I am excited about what is going on in the wrestling world, not only because of Wrestle Kingdom 13 being tomorrow, but also WWE NXT UK takeover going on this month. So we definitely got a lot of wrestling going on already this month. But we also have a lot of controversy going on this month already.
You know, my boy C-Dog is not lying, everyone. In the last 72 hours, we have been in a whirlwind of wrestling news, controversy. There's a possibility that there might be a war going on with another emergence from a company that we knew about, but we didn't know that it was actually going to take effect. However, we found all of this out after New Year's Day, which is crazy, which I was just like, wow, that's very ballsy. But yes, for the subscribers, the people that is watching this video, remember to subscribe to this video, #HealsForLife Wrestling Podcast on YouTube.com. Give us a thumbs up, comment, and always let us know how we are doing, and please participate. You might not be live on the podcast, but at least your participation, we can see you, we will respond to you. We are not like that, so I just wanted to kind of put that out there. As far as the fans that is on Facebook, I have told you guys this before, we are not coming to that bullshit-ass site no damn more, okay?
Nope, we are not.
Because Facebook have had strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, all the way to fucking 10. I'm done with Facebook. But you can catch us on Instagram, #HealsForLife, Wrestling Podcast, on Instagram.com. All you got to do is just follow, and then that's it. All right.
There you go.
So, now, let's get into some wrestling news this evening. Now, this might be a short podcast.
Wait. Before we get into wrestling news, we're going to have a moment of silence. I don't know if Chris does, because usually if this was Facebook Live, there would be, Chris would be able to do a 10 bell. But because we're coming.
Let me finish, you know. But no, yes, recently, matter of fact, yesterday, Mean Gene, from he's known. As a matter of fact, let me just give just a little history of who Mean Gene is. What was his last name?
Oakland.
Yeah. Oakland. Yeah. So Mean Gene, Oakland. Everybody know him as the famous announcer from both the WWE days or WWF days. Also in WCW. So let me just give you a little history. He was born December 1942, and he recently died January 2nd of 2019. Better known as Mean Gene Oakland, who was an American professional interviewer and announcer and wrestler. Now, I did not know that he was a wrestler. That's why Google is so important. He was also best known for his work in the World Wrestling Federation today, WWE, Wrestling Entertainment, which is trash, but anyway, and also World Championship Wrestling. Mean Gene was inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame in 2006 by Hulk Hogan. He eventually signed a lifetime contract with the WWE and worked for promotional programs, and mostly in the WWE network programming, occasionally on the TV series Legends. What was that? House of Legends or something like that.
Yeah.
It was something like that. So we didn't find out until I didn't find out until probably maybe around noon or whatever. A lot of my friends was hitting me up and telling me that Mean Gene had passed away, and remind you, like, we haven't even really thoroughly celebrated New Year's Day, and then the next day we hear that Mean Gene passes away. that is very sad news. You know, in 2018, we've legends had passed, and in that year as well. And to kick off the year, Mean Gene, probably one of the greatest announcers and interviewers, passed away. So, like Matt said before, we're going to give him a 10-bell salute. So, if you can, please silence your phones, shut your mouths for the greatest interviewer and announcer of all time. One second. If I can find it. There we go. There we go. All right. Hold on. For Mean Gene's family, our thoughts and prayers are with you during your time of grief. And, yes, I'm like me and everyone from #Heals for Life Wrestling Podcast. We are really, really sorry that this tragedy happened to you guys. And, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with you this evening. So let's go ahead and start the show. All right, so the first item that we're going to discuss this evening, a little bit of, let me see, can I go back a little bit? Oh, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins.
Oh, yes.
You already know where I'm about to go with this. Seth Rollins. Now, Seth Rollins, it took me a long time to, like, kind of warm up to when he was in the Shield, and he was up there looking like a half of a baked cake or whatever, with that blonde on one side and then the black on the other side. So, don't get me wrong. I like Seth Rollins. I think he's the future of this business, but that is not what we're going to be talking about. Seth Rollins is in some hot water, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is what happened. So I think this was like maybe 2 weeks ago that I do not know who this cat is. It's a comedian, Louis C.K. So Mr. C.K. made some headlines by I think there was some material that was leaked out where he made jokes about the Parkland shooting survivors and transgender people. Right. The comedian also recently made a comeback to the stage where he immediately admitted to sexual conduct allegations in 2017.
Right.
Rollins responded with a tweet from one of the, I believe it was a pro wrestler fan, I believe Eric
Stevens.
Okay.
Eric Stevens. Ring of Honor star, actually. Eric Stevens.
Yes,
Eric Stevens.
You are absolutely correct. Yeah, he's a Ring of Honor star. And they was having a discussion about the leaked material, and apparently Mr. Rollins was defending the comedian. So Rollins said, and I quote, "The new leaked bit is funny, just like all his stand-up shit in the past." Mr. Rollins, now you know that social media is they don't really take too kindly to controversy, especially with the Parkland shooting, which was a complete tragedy. And for you to sit up there and be insensitive about a massacre that happened with children, and then you gonna sit up here and say, "Oh, that was funny," plus his past shit that was funny. that right there will get me to dislike you. I don't care what you have done in the ring. I don't care what you did in the past, in the present, in the future. But if you're going to sit up here and then say and defend a racist and a homophobic motherfucker, you don't deserve my support at this time. Right
with
now,
sexual misconduct allegation against him.
Yeah, exactly. And then, too, this man is like another Trump. Excuse me, I'm not trying to be political right now, but I'm just saying that this man was accused of sexual misconduct. Now this man is a homophobic fool, and now this man is making jokes about a killing that happened in a high school, and that is not cute.
No,
so
not at all.
When I looked at this, I had to look at it like maybe twice before I start reading. Now they said that he's in hot water with the WWE. I think the WWE is going to like really side eye this shit and do the same thing they did with Randy Orton. They're gonna hit him on the hand and tell him don't do it anymore, and then that's it. Because as you know, Seth Rollins is next in line to be the next face of the company because of Roman Reigns' absence.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, because the WWE has been very quiet about this issue, and they're going to continue to be quiet about this issue because we're going into WrestleMania season. So are they going to kill his push? Hell no. They're not going to kill his push because if they did, they would have already said that, we're looking into the matter. The WWE has been silent just like the damn shit with Saudi Arabia. They said we're going to keep making our money and we're going to keep it pushing. The same thing with this shit with Seth Rollins. What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's where that, as much as people want to be like, oh, well, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, blah, 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 that whole type deal. I get all that. But have some decorum. Have some class.
Right.
Have some class about yourself. There is no reason to be joking about transgender people. There damn sure shouldn't be no reason to be joking about a school shootings. There is no reason whatsoever to be joking about that. And then to support it? I mean, come on. You're in a company that has so many different organizations backing them. And do you honestly think they're going to be kind of looking at WWE the same way to kind of be like, well, wait a minute, one of their people is, supporting Louis C.K., who is known for all these different offensive bits in his stand-up, and then his accusations that were brought up against him 2 years ago.
The crazy thing is, too, Matt, is that the WWE wants to use Finn Balor as like, hey, Balor Club for everybody, and have the gay community colors on his T-shirts. And then, you have somebody like Seth Rollins that goes on Twitter and defends a homophobic fool.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, that does not make it really look good on the company. Plus,
no, it doesn't.
The WWE stands up for bullying and kids as well. Kids got shot, and yet your potential face of the company is sitting here and saying that's funny. So that says a lot about you, Seth. It don't really look good on your part, especially if you're supposed to be the next face of the company. Dude, what you said was not cool whatsoever. And as much as I love your work ethic in the ring, dude, what you said on Twitter was trash. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
So, you got any more to add, bro?
Not to that, but to basically kind of be in the same area of, basically people doing things in a negative light. But it's where we have moments where we have people who help each other that have backed away from social media in order to basically regain themselves. And it's where that here recently we had Toni Storm, who was the winner of the 2018 Mae Young Classic, she left social media due to online harassment. And right now, Paige and Renee and several other wrestling fans are rallying to support Toni Storm. They started the hashtag We Support Toni Storm. And we've all come across those times where personal wrestlers and athletes and celebrities' personal data have been hacked and shared on social media. And it's where that in the past, several female wrestlers that's happened to, Paige being one of them. So I can understand completely why she's being in the corner of Toni Storm, because, it put Paige in a dark spot.
Right.
When everything happened.
Went through the same thing. She went through the same thing.
And so a lot of people are backing up Toni right now. Paige, Renee Young, Lillian Garcia, and Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil commented on his Twitter saying, there are some really sick people in this world. I don't know who the fuck you are to harass someone or invade their lives like this, but I truly pray for the best for Toni Storm, and whoever did this, you deserve everything negative coming your way. He put 3 of the angry emojis with the censored over their mouth. Hashtag We Support Toni Storm. And, hashtag Heal for Life supports Toni Storm as well.
Yes, because we don't even in our wrestling group, Wrestling Commentary Central, we don't tolerate bullying or trolling or whatever, because wrestling fans are good for doing that. And we don't when that shit happens, because we have a zero tolerance. If you do that shit, you getting the fuck out. Plain and simple. Because I don't got time to be babysitting other people's kids. I don't got time for all that. Speaking of trash, Ty Dillinger. Yes, Ty
Dillinger, Mr. Perfect 10, Mr. Can't even get on TV right now, Mr. who supposedly is dating one of the people that Nia Jax was putting on blast. But continue, sir.
Wow, okay, but, first, before we read Mr. Ty Dillinger that we can't see him on national television, so this is how this whole shit got kicked off. So, as people know, Nia Jax went on Twitter, I think this was last week, I believe, and the WWE basically was spotlighting all of the women that really brung it up a notch throughout 2018, which I totally get. You know what I'm saying? You got Charlotte and you got hold on
Becky,
one second. Let me. Yeah,
Becky Lynch, Carmella, the Iconics.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out about the Iconics because they're trash. The only thing that's really good about them is their throw skills, but I digress. But anyway, WWE spotlighting all of these people, spotlight all of these females, and Nia basically, pointed out.
Oh, and Ronda Rousey.
Oh, Ronda Rousey.
And
yes, of course. Yeah, so they spotlight all these women, and yet, none of the women of color or other ethnicities wasn't really spotlighted. You know what I'm saying? Asuka and Nia Jax and Naomi, you know what I'm saying? None of them, Amber Moon, none of them was not even bitching.
Especially Ember Moon. Ember Moon.
Amber Moon has. I tried to tell people that she is the baddest bitch on fucking Raw, and she is not being utilized correctly. But this is what she said. She said that, hey, I get everyone was, what I'm saying, the ladies, they did their thing, but what about the women of color? We are here too. Hashtag we are here too. So Ty Dillinger, this bitch-ass motherfucker decided to say this. This man gonna sit up here gonna say, And I quote, all the WWE ladies had a great year, but these ones had some very captivating moments in 2018. And for all those that hashtag boohoo face about being left out despite of being on TV all the time, needs to spend more time on craft instead of social media. Congratulations, ladies.
Right.
Ty Dillinger, let me tell you something. For somebody that eats cater food, you know, every freaking Tuesday, I don't even know if he's even there Tuesday suite. Or Monday.
In the catering
I don't
suite.
know which one. I don't know
Tuesday.
which one it is.
I think he's Tuesday. He was on Raw because he was on NXT, then went to Raw, then was traded to drafted to SmackDown.
Let's not say traded. I think he was secretly traded. Because I'm sorry, I have not seen him in probably maybe at 6 8 months, maybe, yeah. And then the next thing I know, he's being Randy Orton's bitch backstage, and then get his ass whooped. So I'm thinking like, okay, Ty Dillinger about to get some TV time. And then once he get his ass whooped, then he goes back to the era of obscurity. So I'm like, okay. But for you to say some shit like this to Nia Jax, remember, I'm not the biggest Nia fan because of what she did to Becky, but I digress. Nia, she was right about this, and I support her 100%. That the WWE has a very short-term memory when it comes to women of color, and that is what disgusts me, and I always put that out there, and it doesn't matter what wrestling group or whatever podcast I'm in, I always put that out here. But then you got these punk-ass motherfuckers that's like, you know, excuse my language, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to cuss a lot, but this shit really pisses me off. I hate when wrestlers like this always they want to dress themselves in white privilege. That's what pisses me off. So instead of like saying, okay, you know, I understand your point of view, but I have to disagree and like blah, 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 just say what you have to say and be done with it. But if you don't understand the struggles that African Americans go through, then why in the fuck are you talking? Why? But yeah, you want to come on social media, you want to drench in your white privilege and like basically say boo-hoo-hoo, boo-hoo-hoo face? Really?
Yes.
I mean, what happens if the shoe was on the other side of the foot? Would you want to be disrespected or sidelined because of your color? I mean, this is the shit that we have been going through for the last like 50 years. For generations, fuck that shit. For generations, and yet it's like you still stuck in the fucking 60s. We got off that boat a long time ago. We just as good as our Caucasian counterparts. But I'm just saying, like, this shit right here was really disgusting, dude.
It is. And like I said, and while he wants to sit here and say, well, you know, hey, you need to spend less time on social media and more time on your craft, excuse me, sir, but your girlfriend get more airtime and TV time than you do.
Wow.
So how about you spend less time trying to mic check people and try to get on TV?
Right.
I mean, we know how it works. We understand that, you know, that this is supposed to be the new era of WWE, but even in the new era, your girlfriend still get more TV time than you do?
And I'm sorry, sir, but when you come out there and you say the perfect 10, it's really in reality you are the perfect trash that needs to shut his mouth and work on your craft on getting on TV. How about that? But anyway, let's move on. All right, so we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to open up the floor to everybody because, like I said, this is going to be a short podcast. But this is what we really want to focus on, and just like what me and Matt was talking about before we got on the air, there's a lot of controversy going on in the wrestling world. So let's matter of fact, let's talk about this. So everybody know that we've been talking about All Elite Wrestling for the longest. We've been talking about this maybe for a good 6-8 months or something like that. They've been trying to keep this on the low, but we already knew that this might happen. The Young Bucks have been talking about this. Chris Jericho been talking about this. Jim Ross have denied it, but we probably know that he might be involved with this.
Right.
But this was official January 2nd, 2019, that, yes, it's official. It's called, AEW, All Athletes Wrestling. Elite Wrestling, Athlete Wrestling, Elite Wrestling. So this is what's going on so far. So it's been previously rumored that AEW was working on a national TV deal. So per the sources, Khan, which is their boss, which is a billionaire, his whole family is like a billionaire, and they have this empire. Plus, he's also the owner of the Jaguars.
He's the son. He's the son of the Jacksonville Jaguars owner, Shad Khan.
Okay. Thank you for correcting me. So he's from my understanding, he has multiple connections on working on a TV deal, and one of the networks they're negotiating right now with Time Warner to air AEW on either
TBS or TNT. TBS or TNT.
So right now, everyone that this is a rumor, they still negotiating. From my understanding, nothing's in print, nothing's been confirmed or anything like that. This is all news. This is all what's being reported. And as you know, what you see on the internet can be misleading. That's why it's very important for you to check your sources before you start forwarding shit. Now, it's good to talk about it versus saying, oh, I seen this shit on this site, so I already know that this is what's going to happen. No. This is still fresh. This is only like maybe 48 hours fresh. So we're just reporting this because we want to let you know what's going on with this emergence of this new company or whatever, which is it's very interesting. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's very interesting because the WWE finally got some type of competition.
Oh, yeah.
It was different from global wrestling, which, Jeff Jarrett tried to run and never could get off the ground. The people that is running this shit is a billionaire like family. So they got money. They're not broke. So they can literally play around with some money. Plus they got connections as well. Also, this company, go ahead.
No, you're right. I mean, there's money and there's wrestling legacy in this, which you could with Cody Rhodes, and then
Rhodes and go ahead.
And I mean, it's where that we could be looking at a potential threat for WWE. We just got to see where it goes.
And that's why I said, like, this. We're not saying that this company, because I'm gonna say this shit again, because some of the WWE fanboys and fangirls want to sit back and they want to throw shade, and I'm gonna get on them in a minute. But I'm just gonna say it like this: Cody Rhodes is not dumb. This is the same person that was responsible for putting out the awesome show in Chicago, Illinois called All In.
Yep.
That literally sold out the Allstate Arena.
Within minutes.
So, within minutes.
Okay?
Let me repeat this again. He sold out an arena within minutes. Plus, this man has not even been in business that long. And already he's like making headlines. So, I mean, if that's not telling you that this man got potential like a motherfucker, I mean, that should be telling you something. But, of course, you have those fanboys that's on the other side, talk about, well, they're not going to kill the WWE. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that because Vince McMahon will kill them. Well, see, the thing about it is this. If that's true, then Vince McMahon wouldn't have been worrying about Ring of Honor in New Japan participating or competing.
Being in Madison Square Garden.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. If you gonna sit up here and you going to like suck Vince McMahon's dick, then you tell me why the fuck that nigga was cop blocking other wrestlers from participating at Madison Square Garden. I'll wait. I know I'm gonna be waiting for a long time, but I'm serious. Don't sit up here and then say that, oh, in 1 week you complain about the WWE, but then when this new company comes out, you motherfuckers want to throw shade. I'm sorry, but that doesn't work. I'm sorry. You cannot be hypocritical on one subject and then flip on another. No. That's what I'm saying. I tell people, I have been telling folks that when a new company comes out, if it grabs my attention, I will support it. I am not gun-ho. I'm not sipping the WWE's Kool-Aid, quote-unquote. I'm not doing that. If I like you, I'm going to follow you, plain and simple. It has nothing to do with me liking the WWE, growing up with the WWE. This is all facts, but at the same time, I'm not going to lie to you. I am tired of the WWE right now. And that's how I feel. I'm dead ass.
And I agree. I mean, it's where that you need, honestly, in order for a person to stay fresh, for a company to stay fresh, they need that competition. They need that other brand to kind of push them to be like, you know what, we need to do better. And it's been common knowledge that things have started to dwindle. Now, I'm not sitting here saying, because I know there'll be some people out there talking about, well, WWE still makes money, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. We know for a fact, because it has been said on the internet by multiple renowned companies that broadcast the news online and on TV, they've been very vocal saying, hey, WWE's viewing numbers are dropping. Or, hey, their ticket sales are dropping. We know this whenever we sit here. We're looking at Raw or Smack, well, mostly Raw on TV. The host of hashtag Heels for Life has been in arenas near his hometown where it's like, it's looking kind of empty in here.
And I will say this, yes, that hashtag Heels for Life host was there in Milwaukee 4 weeks ago. And trust me when I tell you this, if you think the WWE is not in trouble as far as their viewers go, you are sadly mistaken, because I'm telling you, our new arena at least hosts 15,000 people, okay? The arena is kind of big. And, like, on the top, like, you know, where in the rafters, all of that was blacked out. It was literally sitting there. It was just, like, you seen, like spaces of, like, blackness. Like, you could see, like, you know, people here and there, you know what I'm saying, and some in the upper, like, you know, upper seats or whatever. And I'm trying to tell you, the WWE is in trouble as far as their viewership goes. All it needs is, like, some hot-ass buzz. Case in point. Remember that company called WCW before it got absorbed by the WWE in 2001? WCW did the same exact formula. They knew that it was impossible to go against a giant called the WWF. So what they had to do was they had to find something to compete with them. Now, their tactics were controversial, but they did work. Okay? And with that being said, WCW beat WWE Raw 85 weeks in a row. Because the WWE refused to change. And trust me when I tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, history is repeating itself right now.
Right now.
You don't believe me? Why in the fuck Vince McMahon don't even pay attention to NXT? I'll let you sit there, and I want you to think for that for a minute. Just think about that for a minute. This man is so senile, this man doesn't even pay attention to NXT, and it's part of his company.
And this is from his own son-in-law's mouth.
And you telling me that it ain't something fucked up here? And yet he's up there worried about the XFL. I'm sorry. This is a bad time to be worrying about XFL right now. And see, when you underestimate your competition, just like how Vince underestimated his competition back in '95, if he fucks around and do this shit like he did like almost 20 years ago, trust me, this time Vince McMahon might not even come back. If he does not turn his company around, he can't just easily bring the Attitude Era back because, see, the whole company is a trading company. So it's not like you can just like show ass and titties and all that and bring out some more cussing. No. Them times are gone. So, man, I'm thrilled about the company, but at the same time, I'm hoping Cody do not go down that same road, or the Young Bucks. I hope they don't go down the same road as WCW. I think they're a lot more smart than that. I mean, because this is a brand new generation of new blood running like a potential big company like this. I mean, even though they're growing, we just now knowing about them. But I mean, I see great potential things, and I can't wait to see what they produce in 2019.
I can't wait either. And speaking of, Cody and the Young Bucks, Wrestle Kingdom 13.
Oh yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom 13.
That shit. See, I'm pissed the fuck off because I told people that I want to watch Wrestle Kingdom. Matter of fact, the card is stacked. It's 4 hours long. Unfortunately, I can't really watch it like I really want to because I got to be up at 6 o'clock. I got to be up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So when I get up, I might like see either the Jericho, what's the name? Kaito? I can't say his damn name worth shit. But yes, he's supposed to be defending his title against the man that he faced last year or whatever. So he getting a rematch. I can't believe it took him like a year to get a rematch. What would you say, Matt?
I mean, it takes them about 6 months to a year to, set up their card because, I mean, they have so much going into their card, and their shows are just, man.
Everybody, let me tell you something. This is my third time watching Ring of Honor. And my wrestling friends, they be like, say, Chris, you gotta see Ring of, you gotta see New Japan, you gotta see it. So it was one morning I broke down at the time I was working at 10 to 7, and I just happened to break down and see New Japan Wrestling. When I tell you I was hooked, oh my God. And this is going to be my third time actually watching Wrestle Kingdom. So, and I even went back to watch, the past Wrestle Kingdoms as well. I'm telling you, when I tell you that card that they're going to be putting out in a matter of 6 hours from now, our time, I'm telling you, you're going to be in for a treat. Plus, Jericho match is now a no disqualification match. You know, this Chris Jericho is vicious. If you did not see that match with him and Kenny Omega 2 years ago, trust me when I tell you this, you in for a treat. Oh, speaking of Kenny Omega is also defending his New Japan
heavyweight title,
championship as well. Yes, he's defending his yes, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is negotiating with the WWE right now. Yeah, so let me tell y'all the tea about this shit. So this man was flown out on a private jet by Vince McMahon and Triple H and New Day. Who else was there? It was somebody else, too. I don't know if AJ Styles was involved with that meeting, but, yes, it was a lot of folks that Kenny Omega is cool with, that they literally sat down for 4 hours in a meeting, and it's reported that the WWE is offering him $3 million contract. I'm going to tell you this. Kenny, I love you. I love what you do in the ring. However, I'm just going to tell you this. Hopefully you see this video. I know you're not. But if you do, hopefully a fan will, forward this shit to you. Do not go to the WWE. I'm begging you, do not go to the WWE because you are a lot more worth than staying in a promotion that appreciates you versus a promotion that want to treat you like Brainiac and keep you in a container so you don't go nowhere. That's the same shit that they did to Shinsuke, the same shit they did to Bobby Lashley, the same shit they did to every wrestler that came from Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews, one of the best fucking wrestlers on Raw. And look where he at now, smiling for the camera. Now he finally getting a damn title shot. I guess. I don't know. I think he was fighting Dean Ambrose this past Monday, but I didn't even pay attention to Raw. But I'm
he
just
was
saying,
in a battle. What is it? A battle royal?
In a battle royal?
Yeah. He was in a battle royal first, and then he went up against Dean.
Okay. Yeah, so all I'm going to say is this, wherever you do, I'm going to support you 100%, but I think it would be a bad idea if you step foot in NXT, because NXT is basically a warm-up. That's all it is. It's a warm-up. It's the Wizard of Oz of the WWE. It gives you all of this, this is how the WWE is going to be until you get to the main roster. Ask Asuka. Asuka was undefeated for 2 fucking years. That's until she got to the main roster and fought Charlotte. But I digress, whatever. What's your take on this, bro? I really want to hear you.
Honestly, and I actually shared a post in WCC where a Ring of Honor star he made the choice to stick with Ring of Honor. He had the option to go higher, but he chose to stick with Ring of Honor because 1, it worked for him. 2, I think it said he is a family man, so it's where that he gets to spend more time with his family, and also still wrestle. So I mean, you gotta look at what type of lifestyle you have and what benefits you. There are those fans that their opinion is that Kenny should go to AEW and sign with them before going into WWE. Which I agree, because I mean you already know that there's here again that possibility of growth. Cody himself, has ties to not only Ring of Honor but also New Japan. So there is that possibility of AEW having business relationships or alliance per se with Ring of Honor and New Japan. So I mean it's where there's not. You can't say that there's that whole possibility of they'll just keep it just AEW. You don't know that. It could be a joint venture between the 3 promotions doing something. And when that happens, come on now. When that happens, we just happen to see a card that has the AEW logo, the Ring of Honor logo, and the New Japan logo. Come on now. That's basically fire.
Yeah, and I know that Vince McMahon is concerned. As a matter of fact, speaking of Vince McMahon being concerned, I don't know if this is actually rumor, but hopefully, Matt or Maurice that's listening right now can back me up. So apparently there is a rally that's going to be going on, I believe, next Tuesday. AEW is having a rally not very far from SmackDown's taping in Florida, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Apparently there's supposed to be some type of rally going on. And according to sources, I don't know if this is true, but the WWE is monitoring this situation. I said, the WWE, I think their issue is they don't want no competition. They want to be the only company that is standing. That's why Vince McMahon got rid of WCW, ECW, and made them into complete trash. They absorbed them a little bit, gave us a little taste, and then made them trash. That's the same thing Vince McMahon is trying to do. He's trying to cop block. He's trying to get into their business. That's why they're recruiting Kenny Omega, because Kenny Omega is a centerpiece to this whole, AEW situation. And once you get Kenny Omega, I'm serious, your star power is going to be reduced. Because right now, Kenny Omega is the face right now of the industry in the indie scene right now. So I don't know if anybody is really paying attention, but I'm serious. You grab Kenny Omega can't go nowhere. Once he gets once he gets tied up with the WWE, he can't go nowhere unless he signs a short contract. But I think what the WWE trying to do is they're trying to contain him so he don't go nowhere. So that's what I'm afraid of. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the lines real quick. We're going to get a couple of callers, and then we're going to call it a night. So let's go with Maurice real quick. And if you guys want to call in, all you have to do is, or if you ever want to call in, the number is, we're live every Thursday, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, area code 641-715-3640. The participation code is 286-517, and then remember to hit that good pound. Again, the number is, I can't even talk, area code 641-715-3640. The participation code to get in is 286-517, and remember to hit the pound, okay? All right, so let's go with Maurice. Maurice, you with us?
Yeah, Chris, man, what's good? Happy New Year, boys.
What's going on? Happy New Year, bro. All right, so you've been hearing the podcast. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I want to go to your last thing. Yeah, the Double or Nothing rally, yeah, it will be at the TIAA Bank Field near, which is the Jaguar Stadium. Yeah, that will be, as you said, be taking place the same night that SmackDown will be going on January 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you actually were right about that. That'll be taking place about 5 o'clock, and it'll be right near where SmackDown will be happening. So yeah, I would say this, that All Elite, it's going to be yeah, that All Elite, I think the smart thing for them to do is just focus on them right now. Because if they do become competition for Vince, I wouldn't go, right off the bat. I would just, lay low, get yourself established, and then, because once you got that timing spot that you know WWE is going to be weak, that's when you start becoming competition for them.
Mm-hmm.
But you also got to make sure that you don't do what WCW did, and, once you started getting on that success, you start resting back.
Mm-hmm. You are absolutely correct because, as a matter of fact, you brought up a really good point. Their strategy has to be different from WCW. They can use the formula, but they have to be different. They cannot be another WCW 2.0 or a WWE 2.0 because we already have a WWE. We already have a PG product. What can you bring to the table that will attract fans to your product? You know what I'm saying? Now, you can have a good wrestling show without all the sex and the violence and shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though I do love all of that. Don't get me wrong. But this company has to be way different where it causes so much buzz. People are going to flock over to that new company like a bunch of bees looking for the honey. You know what I'm saying? And I think they have the potential of doing that, but you gotta understand, Cody Rhodes and Young Bucks, they are and Khan, they are young, so it's not like, because I know they're doing it for the fans, but they need some direction as well. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just like this is where I'm like really looking at this. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if they. I'm assuming they thought about this shit. It's just the thing is, are they really willing to put off a big gamble like this? Because that's all it is. It's a really big gamble, and hopefully it pays off for them.
Yeah, especially because, like I said, Cody's still, I believe, in his because Cody's like only in his mid-30s, and is like the Bucks, I believe, are in their early 30s, if they're even in their 30s. And it's like it's a big risk, but like I said, if you just focus on making your product make sense and just let your guys do what you do, like, even if you got to say, even before you have that first show, like say, hey, this is what we're going to do. But it was like, hey, y'all make sure that you do what you do. Keep like any backstage drama, like outside. Keep like any drama outside. And it was like, hey, let's just focus on trying to elevate the company as a whole, because that way we all get everybody in the company, we all get our money, we all get our shine.
So what do you? I wanted to ask you this earlier. What do you think about Seth Rollins and his comments about defending a comedian that's homophobic and no racist?
All right, that's a double-edged sword with that one, because on the one hand, and I kind of side with a lot of people who are against this, because there's certain things that you just don't make light of, and one of them are school shootings. You just don't, because, and I would tell you, I have known parents who have lost children in them. They still, to this day, have not gotten over that loss.
I don't think they ever will, bro.
No, and especially with the more that school shootings happen now, it's like every time they hear that brings that triggers that emotion back.
Of course.
Yeah, but at the same time, here's now where I'm going to side with Seth on this one. There's some people that that are going to naturally be offensive. There are some people that that are going to push that boundary, and it's like, that's who they are. And it's like, and I'm with you, I do not condone with certain subjects, but it's like, after a while, you've got a choice. It's like, all right, if you know that this is what they're going to do, then it's like, here's the best thing you can do. Don't support them. Don't listen to them. As a fact, they out of sight, out of mind is like, leave it alone, because honestly, we already got enough stuff in the world that people get offended over, and some of it more ridiculous than others. But it's just like, you know what? The best way is to leave that one alone. And that's how I go. And can I go on the Ty Dillinger We Hear too?
Yes, definitely.
All right. And man, you pretty much set it on the head with this one, but WWE actually set themselves up for this one, because I get like Ronda coming in was like colossal. Matter of fact, we're actually approaching her 1-year anniversary with the Royal Rumble. Charlotte ending Asuka's streak was definitely a highlight for her. I don't know why Carmella or the Iconics were put on this one. And that's like, I'm not even going there. I was about to say, but yeah. But to your point, let's not forget Nia Jax becoming the first Samoan woman to win a women's championship at WrestleMania. Let's not forget Naomi won the first women's battle royal as well. Ember Moon, she was the first black NXT women's champion. As you just said, Asuka right now finally won the TLC, and not to mention the winner of the first women's Royal Rumble. So let's not remember that our women of ethnicity haven't had some historic moments too.
So that's why I said, like, okay, what was the whole point of you, like, shading Nia Jax for the boo-hoo? Really? Like, I mean, this is coming from someone that doesn't even show up on television, not even good enough to be on television. I mean, the only thing that you have is backstage promos that are, like, halfway decent. You can't be halfway decent and then sit back and say, oh, well, you can't really say that because, you know, hey, the girls, they really did their thing. And if, you know, because you're black, you know, I mean, if you feel that way, then, you know, you really don't need to be feeling that way and you're on TV all the time. That's not the issue.
Yeah, and that's like there. And I was about to say, like, if this came from somebody that actually did something in WWE, hell, even NXT, if it came from somebody who accomplished something at NXT, much less the main roster, okay, I could probably give some of this credit vote with Ty Dillinger, who, by the way, I would say this, like, I know you don't want to disrespect any wrestler that's, like, had any sort of success, like, even if it's not on a major siege, but it was like, Ty, yeah, this is just, like, not good timing at all, man.
No, especially for him. And I heard that there's a I just heard like a crazy report that there's a possibility that he's interested in AEW.
I will leave that alone.
Yeah, me too.
Chris, can I ask one more? Can I get Sea Dogs for one? Because I actually got a story of my own for you real quick. And I'm sorry for hogging up a lot of time, but I'll make this one brief.
No, go ahead.
There was an incident recently where I don't know if y'all saw this on Twitter or not, but Paige actually, a fan was putting her on blast for not wanting to take pictures at the UFC.
I saw that.
And I immediately thought back to something you said, C-Dog, and I agree with it 1,000,000%. There are times and there are places when fans should, like, give wrestlers their space. And there's a time if you want to ask for an autograph or a picture or something, there's times and places when you should do it, times where you say, just leave them alone, or it's like, hey, if you're going to do anything, just give them a quick hi and then get to stepping.
So, any other comments? C-Dog? Maurice?
I'm good.
Hold on.
I mean,
I just tell you another story right now. Oh, Lord. Has anybody learned, whatever you do not give Becky Lynch feeding material? Have we not learned this?
Oh, God, I know, right?
Yeah, Becky.
John walked into that. He shouldn't have.
No. It ain't Cena I'm talking about. I'm talking about Graves.
Oh, yeah, he's an idiot.
Graves really wants to be a woman. I really believe that. I really believe that he really wants to be the woman, and he really wants to wear a vagina. I really feel that way.
Yeah, Becky thinks that he's like a emo mom with, like, wearing skinny jeans or something like that.
Wow. You know, with Corey, I mean, doesn't he, like, do that on a daily basis, like wear skinny jeans and shit, and try to be like this?
Maybe, but yeah, I'll leave that well. And matter of fact, I'll actually post this up at WCC so y'all get, like, a better idea of what what's been going on. It's like,
what article are you talking about?
Oh, no, because I was like, yo, This one, you have to, like, literally read it to believe it because, like I said, Becky Lynch, you do not want to give her any material whatsoever because she will put you, she will, like, put you on blast if you, like, go after her.
Yeah, and obviously Miz and, well, John Cena just walked into his own trap, though. But, yeah, Miz, wow, put out that little dick joke and shit. Like, whew, wow, that was funny. But, all right. Mr. Maurice, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate your comments.
All right.
Go on to the next
Thank
call.
you, guys.
All right, man. No problem. See you later. All right, we got another caller. This is a new caller. Mr. Kofi, you on? Kofi King? Kofi, you there? Okay. I don't think he's there. All right, so if anybody else want to come on and speak, the time is now. If not, me and Matt, we're going to go into some just additional wrestling news before we depart. Shit. Did you even watch Raw or SmackDown this week?
I did. I enjoyed it. I definitely have to say it was a toss-up because a lot of the matches, some of the matches that they had featured on SmackDown were good. I loved the continued heat that Vince and AJ were having back and forth, where Vince is basically trying to push AJ to be more aggressive. Mm-hmm. And the match, the main event match between Mustafa Ali, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and AJ, it was, oh man, it had the whole arena just erupting.
I heard about that too.
But it was good. It was good.
Yeah, I heard about the same thing that happened with Seth Rollins back on Raw as well. That Triple H was trying to push Seth Rollins to be a little bit more edgier, like he was when he was a bad guy, when he was in the Authority. And I heard that he beat the shit out of Bobby Lashley, got himself disqualified. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit interesting. So, guys, we're going to go around again. So if you guys want to say a few words, hit that #6 and you'll be in queue. We're going to wait for about 5 more minutes. If we don't get a response, then we're just going to end the show and we'll continue on Sunday. So what else has been going on that I haven't been really getting? Now, I'm just going to let you guys know this. In WCC, we usually put up live feeds or whatever, and because the shit's been taped or whatever, I haven't been paying attention to WWF at all. WWE at all. So I haven't really been paying attention to it. I've just been looking at the results and shit or whatever. I mean, we're going to go back to business as usual next week, when they go back live again. But I just really haven't been really, I don't know, just haven't been really paying attention to it at all. So, but one thing I want to ask you, C-Dog. So, what do you think about the WWE, being a little bit better in 2019? Do you think that they're going to still do the same thing that they did in 2018?
I hope not. I mean, if they're wanting to follow through with this new era of WWE, then I mean, I hope that's what they follow through with. I do like that they are featuring people more that haven't really been on TV that much. I'm definitely glad to see Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows back. And I hope that continues. Because, I mean, it's where that it's very hard to say that you're going to be different and then actually stick with it, you know. But if they stick with it and they do better, then hey, that's great. I hope their TV ratings go back up. I hope their ticket sales go back up, because I mean 2019 is like not just 2019, but also 2018. The wrestling in general is picking up. People are starting to notice wrestling a lot more, and it's not just WWE. They're being given more options, and it's where that while WWE is noticing that people are starting to pick up more on the other avenues of wrestling, it's where they need to also take notice in what is changing the scene of wrestling. Don't just make promises and then don't follow through with them. And that's the biggest thing.
So, do you think that do you think the WWE's taking notice that the climate is changing? Fans are still to get a little bit more restless, because Megan said this in WCC that I really wanted to point out, that the hardcore fans are a dying breed.
Yeah,
and I really feel that, because that really did hit home. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, when I tell you that there's certain shit that I do not like on in the internet wrestling community that I'm not going to stand for, I'm going to speak on that shit. And people they have this naive attitude, well, I'm going to like what I like and blah, 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 because, I'm a big Roman Reigns fan or whatever. And it goes deeper beyond you being a Roman Reigns fan, a John Cena fan, or whatever, whoever superhero fan you are. It goes beyond that. It goes beyond. It's literally wrestling's supposed to be for everyone. You know what I'm saying? If the shit is fucked up, then it needs to be corrected. Plain and simple. Because it only takes maybe it only takes so much, especially in this era, where if your shit is whack, people are going to flock, and they're going to find something else. I am not going to lie to you guys. That is where I'm at in my life right now. That I've been watching the WWE for almost 20 years plus, and now that something else is out, I'm open to walk away from the WWE. That's where I'm at right now. Because, the WWE produced the same shit that they've been producing for the last 10 years. Ever since they went to the PG era, it's been fucked up. Now, don't get me wrong. NXT is awesome. There have been some awesome moments in the PG era, but there's been a lot of negative shit as well, especially over the last, 3 years. Especially with the Brock Lesnar shit, with the Roman Reigns situation, John Cena, and then bringing people from NXT, bringing them to the main roster, making them trash, and it's what are you doing with these guys? So, I do agree with Megan. The dying breed of hardcore wrestling fans is dying. And he also said there's not a lot of us that's left.
No. And, I mean, I commend what the women are doing in WWE right now. I commend them.
No.
But it's where the women of the indie scene have been kicking ass a lot longer than what's been featured in the WWE right now. And I mean, it's where that you got to give credit where credit is due, because it's also where Mickey James said it in in her Twitter when WWE talked about doing a women's tag team championship belts. Mickey James said, know your wrestling history. There were women tag team champions before in the past.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a new thing. It's not a new thing. It's just
right.
it's where WWE is just now trying to trying to bring it back. Yeah, they're trying to catch up.
So do you think that this is going to be successful, especially in this era?
I think it will, only because the women are basically saying, the men can do it, but we can do it too, and we can do it better. 2018 was definitely a huge step forward for the women in WWE. And the reason why I say that is because it's where WWE has started making steps to not feature their female talent as just eye candy. Other companies made it to where the women wrestlers were just as good or if not better than the men. Other companies have already been doing that. It's just WWE's just not catching up. They're just not catching on.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to still, take a look at it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, right now, like I said, I'm not really too enthused with the WWE right now because the shit that they've been producing, like, to close out 2018 just really left a really bad taste in my mouth, especially with the Bobby Lashley situation and the tag team titles on the women's side. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love, like, new things that the WWE, like, produces when they're not lazy.
Right.
I like it, but I'm sorry, it's still not going to get me to say, oh, my God, I can't wait to watch that. No.
Right.
I mean, you're going to have to give me some time to let my wounds heal. So, that concludes our show, everyone. Thank you to our callers that called in, or our caller that called in. So, everyone, we'll be back next week. I'm still trying to figure out who our special guest is going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be Jeffrey Taylor. He's also a podcaster. He was supposed to be with us, I think this was like maybe a month ago, but we was having some issues with Facebook or whatever. But now that we're on the phone scene, he can definitely come on the show with us and talk about Ring of Honor and some other WWE news as well. So if you guys have any questions, comments, whatever, make sure that you comment on this video. If you want to call in, the number to call is area code 614-715-3640. The code is 286-517, and remember to hit the pound. Be sure to join us every Thursday night, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. If you want to find us, you can find us on Facebook. I'm under Chris Dilworth. Matt, you're under C-Dog Collins, right?
Right.
Okay. You can also find us on Twitter on our page, #HealsForLife Wrestling Podcast on Instagram. And we will also be on streaming sites as well. Right now, we're currently on YouTube right now. So I'm also trying to put us on Spotify as well. So until that time, we'll see you guys next week. I'm your host, Mr. Team Bring It. That's Mr. C-Dog. We'll see you guys next week. Good night, everybody.
Take care, guys. Later.